Welcome back to The Man from Mistrock, and today we are picking a new chunk to begin with. So, we've got 3 chunks to pick from, and I guess we will just roll first and see what 2 it offers us. So let's go. Okay. North and west, I believe those 2 were, so let's see what they've got. Tasks here are just kill a bat, and this one, kill a unicorn. Alright, well, I guess we will... What else is in this chunk? Because I think there was... Okay, Ruby Harvests. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Ruby Harvest does lower, or gives us something to work with for Hunter. I think it's level 15 Hunter. Not much else in there. Seaweed, trees. Yeah, okay, look, we'll pick that one. And now all we have to do is kill 1 bat. So I guess let's go do that and we'll clean up this chunk. Alright, and we're already heading into the new chunk. We've got just the 1 task to do, kill a bat. So we'll knock that out real quick. Brilliant, and that's chunk task done, chunk complete. We'll have a quick explore just to make sure there's nothing else of interest in the chunk, but that pretty much should be it. And then we'll go back to the chunk picker and get our next chunk going. What's interesting is there is actually like a whole village in there and everything, and there's like ovens and stuff you can see, but it doesn't appear to be populated at all, and it does also appear to be inaccessible. So I'm curious, is this future content? What's going to happen here? No idea. Dark Moon Ravine. I guess maybe we might have to wait for the next content release and see what happens. But yeah, back to the chunk picker. Alright, we're back here again. We've got 3 chunks to pick from again, and we will roll and see what happens. Okay. Alright, cool. So we've got the northwest chunk and the chunk with the quest in it. Not that we can do the quest, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the one I want to pick because no tasks in it, and I would like to do that quest eventually. Oh my god, my right click. What are you doing, mouse? Okay, and then up here is... So, bear cub and grizzly bear, that is bear meat, which is one of the meats for Druidic Ritual. So we can unlock that, but I think I will go the other chunk for now, because it does unlock this one for picking later, and that will mean we can move into the mainland, which I'm excited for. So we'll pick that one now. Done that. No tasks to calculate, I'm pretty sure that's everything. Yeah. Cool. Alright, cool. Let's go to roll again, I guess, because there's no actual tasks there, were there? Yeah, none. Cool. Alright, let's roll again. Hey, okay, so that one. That's yep, we're going to pick that one. This chunk has Seagull and a Tyrus helm, which I think both of those will be really quick to do. Let's go make that happen. Hey, and we can finally pick up that spade that we were locked out of for ages. Cool. Okay, so full disclosure, I did manage to record the wrong screen for this entire chunk. Thankfully, it was a pretty small chunk, and I have, for illustrative purposes, created a dramatic reenactment for you. I also did want to throw up the skills window from the end of last episode, which I did forget to put at the end of the last episode. So this is effectively sort of a starting point for this episode. Okay, and the reward... Boots and chest. And now we're back here, ready to roll the next chunk, and we will go right ahead and do that. So what do we get? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna pick North Aldarin first, I think. Because that gives me one simple task chunk to do, and I would like to unlock this before we start exploring the full mainland. So we'll go with that one for now. And yep, it's just kill one unicorn. Alright, so we've got this North Aldarin chunk. I think there's some chests up in there which may have something worth getting, but I'll check that out in a minute. We've got some copper longtails over there, but we don't have a bird snare that we can get to just yet. Really, at the moment, the only thing of interest is these unicorns, which I'm going to take one of those down. And yeah. Alright, job done. Back to the... oh, installed head. There you go. Back to the chunk picker. We'll go pick our next chunk. Only 3 chunks to pick from. Let's see what we get. Oh, hang on. Tick that off first. Now let's see what we get. Sweet. So that's what I was hoping for. We unlocked that one so that when we can do that quest, we can do the whole quest. Doesn't unlock any new tasks, so we'll just move on to the next roll, although that we can't roll yet. So it is going to be a pick between these two, and I'm going to pick Sunset Coast because I just want to leave the bears locked for the moment. Alrighty, let's go and do that. We have... oh, hello. I guess we've only got access to the main section, don't we? That's new. But yeah, we've got some big tasks for this one now. So we've got kill an imp, very straightforward, very easy. Blue wizard hat from the imp, so we'll probably have to kill a lot more than one. Adamant mid helm, adamant full helm, adamant medium helm, adamant full helm. We'll get both of those nice and easy. We've got the money for that. Here are the big ones though. Chop and burn yew logs and cut ruby bolt tips, which is 63 fletching. Not sure why I don't have to fletch a yew longbow though. Surely I should have to fletch a yew longbow for that chunk. Anyway, well, we've got a lot of fletching ahead of us, but we'll go knock out some of these little tasks before we dive into that first. Editor Mist Rock here. I did figure this one out later. Turns out that I do have it set that I only have to do, I have to make use of a resource once it's in my chunk, so I don't have to make the highest level version of whatever it can make. I also am only going for offensive best in slot gear. I don't require defensive best in slot items, so the ridiculous grind of the shield is out. We don't have to do that. And we don't actually have access to a bowstring, so the bows are not actually an upgrade at the moment. They are an unfinished product at this time. So for now, it's just asking me to do arrow shafts from yew, but the ruby bolt tips is actually a slightly higher requirement, so that is why that's the highest chunk task there. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of new equipment, new items here. We've got a bunch of fishing stuff. We purchased our 2 helmets. We've got a small fishing net here, which I'm not allowed to pick up because I'm an Ironman, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you know, that's the thing. And for the life of me, I cannot find the imp. It is not here. It's not on the 2 upper levels for this place. It's not on this ship, is it? It'd be a strange place for an imp. I guess maybe it's spawned and then wandered far, far away, or was that? Oh, there it is. It's down there. Okay, we found the imp. So now we just have to get a blue wizard hat from the imp and also, well, just kill one. So do that now. Hey, 29 combat. Okay, so that's chunk task done. Pot of flour. Get some ashes as well. Do that. And then we will kill a whole stack of imps and come back when we've got the hat, I guess. Oh, this is going to take a while. The imp can spawn or teleport to areas that are not accessible, and obviously it can also just take off out of the chunk. I've still only killed one. They just keep teleporting places I can't get them. So I'm going to help some worlds and try and find one I can actually take out. Wow, that was way quicker than I was expecting. So six imps in, we get the hat. So that's one more chunk task done. And now we're on to the big one, or the massive grind, which is going to be 60 something, 63 I think, fletching is what it's asking me for. Alright, and I'm going to be down here for a good long while. Thankfully, whoever designed this area put regular trees, oak trees, willows, and yews all in the one place. So I'm just going to camp here, not leave until I've got like 60 firemakings, probably closer to 70 woodcutting, and 63 fletching. So yeah, I'm not going to show every single level I get because that'd be pretty tedious, but I will show the milestones. So yeah, back in a minute with probably the first, I want to say, firemaking milestone. That should be 15 firemaking. So now we can do oak, we can switch the regular logs to fletching. Alrighty, and that's 15 wood cutting, so now I can cut the oaks as well. I'm still going to finish off the 15 fletching first before, is it 15 or 20? That's actually 20, so 20 fletching first before I actually switch over to oaks. So, AFKing on the second screen, chopping trees, and I look back over, and what have I got? A loop half of a moon key. I didn't think you could get those from regular trees. I guess there was no reason that you can't, but yeah, it seems extremely unlikely. So I guess I'll find out how many of those I get through this journey, but the other half will be quite a ways off, I think. It's pretty much Huey Quaddle and Moxley-Addle are the only two that drop it, right? So yeah, that's not going to happen for a while. So we'll start saving these up and see how many we get by the end of this grind. My first nest, and it's a hard clue nest, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be a thing. Oh, that might actually be worth keeping. That's not that far away. I might hold on to that for now. Not that it's yeah. I mean, I'd need like 4 or 5 more hard clues, so I don't see that happening. But it's worth holding on to, I guess. I recorded the wrong screen, but here we are. Level 20 fletching, just getting some of those arrow shafts feathered. I'm going to finish those ones off, and then we're going to go dive into oak trees. And that makes 30 wood cutting, so we can start cutting the willows, but since we are still quite a way off finishing oak, we're going to continue on with that for quite a while. We've only got 24 fletching, we need to get that up higher. We haven't even started on the oak fire making yet, so still a ways to go. Alright, getting a nice stack of bird's nests with this cutting, so we're also about to hit, 35 fletching, so now we can do willow. Got to finish off a little bit of fire making on the rest of the oak logs, but then we'll switch over to willow, and I might bank all this stuff that I've got as well to give myself some more room. And that is 30 fire making, so we are officially graduated up onto willows. So we'll go bank all this stuff, we'll come back and start hitting the willows a little bit. Got another mystery box, so let's find out what's in this one. It is a... hang on, let's prevent any of that. An old boot! Fantastic. That's going on the floor. Just missed the milestone there, but 45 wood cutting. And we are back to cutting oaks because they cut so much faster with a bronze axe. And the difference between an oak longbow and a willow shortbow is not as big as it needs to be for me to switch just yet. So once we can do willow longbows, we'll switch over to willows. But yeah, still a few more levels. Oh, one more level to go before we switch, I guess. Another Quizmaster, another mystery box, and it is a mithril scimitar. That was only like our 3rd quiz, wasn't it? That's now... okay, new best in slot weapon. That's going to speed things up nicely. That it even has like You found a mithril scimitar excellent in it, so it knows it's a good reward. That's awesome. Here's the question. Do I get to keep the small net after I leave? I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I guess we'll find out in a second. No, okay. Well, it was a nice try. And what do I get for that? Ooh. Level 7 fishing from one random. That's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Does that... I don't know if that changes anything for us, because I still don't think we can get a small fishing net. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure without that changes nothing for us. Alright, that's okay. Back to the grind. Okay, and after like a week of being locked to this chunk, we are at 50 fletching, and that is like a quarter of the way to the goal we need to go to. But at least we're on to Maple. I've been selling all of the willow bows to the store just to get a little bit of cash behind me. Once I finish doing the firemaking portion of willows, I'll switch over to maple, which I'm pretty sure there are maple trees down near Misrock. And I'm actually going to bank those ones for later, because then we'll be able to actually string them for even more experience later down the line. For now though, still a whole bunch of cutting willows and this time burning them. There's another milestone, so we're finally finished with the willows. I'm going to go down to Mistrock now, start banking a bunch of willows, not willows, what are they called? Maples, and once I've got some milestones there or something else interesting happens, I'll be back with that. We are also, I did get another lamp, so I am one more lamp away from 2 agility, and I can start popping, could you not? I'm also one more lamp away from level 2 agility, so I'll be able to pop the Book of Knowledge into that as soon as I hit level 2, get a head start on level 3. Alrighty, there's 60 wood cutting finally, so that is going to be a chunk task as soon as I chop down one log from this yew tree. And then we can get into the real grind, which will be the fletching and firemaking versions. There we go. One log, all done. It's been a little while since I've had a Prison Peat one, and what's that, 4 snapdragons is not a bad reward. So we'll take that. I've also discovered World 444, so Forestry, which for some reason I didn't think of this whole time. So now we're doing that, and we should be able to get a couple of levels and some other skills, maybe? Okay, we got a lamp from account check, which means we are now at level 2 agility. And we can pop the Book of Knowledge into agility as well for a little bit of an extra boost. Fantastic. 59 XP to go. Missed the pop-up there, but there's 41 thieving from a pheasant control forestry event. Once the forestry teams all go to bed, I've decided to come and do a little bit of combat up here and get some of my combat levels up a little bit. Hoping to get 20 strength and then dive into trying to get that 40 defense for the shield that we're supposed to be wearing. So might get a couple of prayer levels as well, we'll see. But the idea is to kill the unicorns, get a couple of unicorn horns so that when I come to do herblore later, I will have actually some of those ready to go already. And there's 20 strength. So now we can switch over to defense, because now I've got max hit 4 even on defensive. So cool. Let's see if we can get to 40. That was actually fairly quick, less than an inventory. Bit of a surprise, but yeah. Finally got a fox whistle on one of my accounts. My main is super dry for this, but I think that was only like 4 or 5 fox events and I've already got the fox whistle. That's the first item on the forestry collection log apart from the obvious beehive parts. Yeah, awesome. That's a petal garland from the enchantment ritual, so that's the second unique drop from forestry today. It's pretty wild. Alright, so I missed the recording there because I was on the phone with a customer, but that is 70 wood cutting. We are a good ways of the way through getting all of the logs for 63 fletching. I think we still need another like 3,000 logs though, so it's coming along slow. We'll get there though. We got a genie event a little while ago, and that should bring us up to 4 agility. Alright, I've come down with a bit of an illness, but the woodcutting continues, and we are at 73 woodcutting, and a nice little surprise there from the last forestry event, a golden pheasant egg. So we now have all of the rare drops from forestry, and when we finally make it to a forestry vendor, we should be able to buy out pretty much everything, I think. I've got quite a lot of this anima infused bark, so by the time I finish woodcutting the maples, I'm sure I'll have enough to buy everything now. Another random event lamp, and that should take us to 5 agility. And we just got another book of knowledge, so that should mean level 6 agility. So that's coming along nicely. I think it was level 30 we're aiming for on that one, so good ways off yet. And there's the 40 defense we needed, so that's going to give us access to that maple shield. We'll finish this one off, and that will be the end of the melee grind for this chunk. Still can't make the shield, but that's not too far away now. I've only got probably one more day of wood cutting, and I'll be able to launch into the fletching. So I guess we'll be back with that shortly. Alright, and just after that Entling event, we now have enough maple logs for all of my targets, and that actually got me 51 fletching just from Entling events as well. So let's go to the bank and see what the proceeds from all that wood cutting are. So I have just been dumping everything into the deposit box. I haven't actually spent much time looking at my bank. I'm gonna have to, this is a mess. I'll have a dig through, clean it all up, and then I'll come back and we can have a look at the actual results there. Alright, that's looking a little bit better now. So we've got obviously quite a lot of forestry stuff, which won't be useful for a good long while yet. We got our bit over 6,000 maple logs, which we're going to start digging into. I'm also going to leave all the birds' nests filled up at the moment, because I obviously don't have any use for those birds' nests just yet. I want to see those numbers go up. Oh, hang on. And then, yeah, so we got the firemaking and the fletching to do. I guess we'll come back with some milestones on that in a moment. I forgot to mention, it has been about 8 or 9 weeks since I rolled my last chunk. So the last like 2 months have just been wood cutting. And it's nice to see we're finally coming to the end of this chunk. We can roll another one. There's 52 fletching, 53, 54, and there is 55 fletching. So now we can move on to making the maple longbows. 56. And that is 57 fletching, which means we can now make the maple shield, which is a chunk task. Well, not making it, but wearing it is a chunk task. That is our new best in slot mage offhand. And there is 58 fletching. Getting close now. And I clicked through it by reflex, but there's 59, and I can make the mithril grapple now. And that is 60, so only 3 to go. 61 fletching. 62 and 63, which means we are done with fletching. The only thing we need to do now is actually cut some ruby bolt tips, but I think, yeah, I've actually got to go buy a ruby. Had to buy a chisel too actually, but now we've got that, we can cut that into tips, and job done. Another task complete. There's 49. And there's 50. So finally we've got Winter Tot unlocked, right? 51. 52. 53. 54. Oh, 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. Cheeky catch up with the logs there because I apparently can't count. And then we should be able to pop these ones through. And there is 60, which means we can do our last task. And that is finally the chunk complete. As you can see, last roll was on January 23rd. It is now the 7th of March. So it's been, yeah, over a month since the last roll. And now we tick off that last one. And why are you there? Go away. And now we can roll again, finally. And there we go, no surprises there. So of course we're going to select this one. And that means now we have a whole set of new tasks. So snake, jaguar, jaguar cub, big shark, big swordfish, big bass. Those are the ones that are going to take the longest time, I reckon. Leather boots will be nice and quick, and then of course the highest level fishing, which is a shark, fishing and cooking. And that though, we are going to leave for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.